Hello and welcome to Correro, the big conversation table. I am Godwin Sunday. Today, we will take the conversation to the southern part of Nigeria. I will go to the south, Bayelsa State to be precise, where we'll be digging deep into a lot of conversation that borders on politics, policies, and governance in Bayelsa State. I am Godwin Sunday. We'll take a short break and we'll return. We'll dive into the conversation. Please stay with us. And you're welcome back. Well, as Nigeria moves closer to the 2027 general elections, Bayelsa State is emerging as one of the politically strategic states to watch, particularly because of the dramatic realignment of its political landscape. Governor Duye Diri's movement from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress (APC) has fundamentally altered the traditional political equation in a state that has long been regarded as a PDP stronghold. Diri joined the All Progressive Congress (APC) in October 2025 and has since positioned the party for a stronger presence in the state. Bayelsa is likely to be one of the most interesting South-South political battlegrounds ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, we will look at all of this issue and try to tie them up with happenings even in Bayelsa. But then, the biggest test will be whether Governor Diri's defection represents a permanent political realignment or merely a temporary shift in the state's traditionally PDP-dominated political structure. I'm joined tonight by two personalities. The person of Honorable Dia A. Jones Kekebo, Southern Ijo Constituency 2, Bayelsa State House of Assembly, and Honorable Ben Eniye Kemini Eye Kenemi Ray, President of the Niger Delta Supportive Force. Now, gentlemen, let's begin with first apologizing for murdering your name. So help us even get those names correctly. Please, let's begin with you. What's the right pronunciations for those names?
Okay, my name's Die A. Jones Kekebo.
Kekebo. Yes. All right, but please help us.
My name's Ben Eniye Ray.
Okay, so let's get with Kekebo first. There have been a lot of issues in the Bayelsa State, to be precise. Now, just recently, June, to be precise, the Sagbama and Ekeremo NDC members left the party, and of course, they joined the All Progressive Congress, and this threw the state into a state of political comatose. Bring us up to speed. What's the true state of the NDC even in Bayelsa State?
Yes, it's funny people say because of one person out of his personal grief left the party does not mean the party does not have a stronghold in the state. Like you know very well, the leadership of the party, the founder of this our great party, His Excellency Henry Seraki Dixon, is from Sagbama, and I know currently now the whole world is watching to see his performance in his own state. As for the Kirimo Sagbama axis, I don't think there's an issue there, because one or two persons left the party, yes, on personal grounds, but that issue was resolved a long time ago. Most of them came back to the party again, because the goal of this whole thing is to push this party forward and to ensure that we actually get a hold of Bayelsa in total, crossing all the 8 local governments.
Well, let's come to you, Ben. Ray, let's talk about the Niger Delta Supportive Force, which is largely a supportive force for the NDC. Tell us about this force. What is it all about? Is it military affiliated?
It's not military affiliated. It's a social organization. We use in support good governance within the Niger Delta region.
Well, when you talk about a supportive group that is used to support the Niger Delta region, is it self-funded? Is it community funded? Is it NDC supportive or funded? How does this support group get its funding?
We fund ourselves. We don't depend on government.
How many members are in this group?
We are more than 3,000.
But largely dominated in the Niger Delta. And it does not escalate beyond. It does not escalate beyond the Niger Delta.
Beyond.
But when you say Niger Delta supportive force, it makes it look as though. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, there are foreign people who are living within the Niger Delta region. So we also accommodate them. That is why we say beyond.
Well, Kekebo, you said that the national leader of your party, this would be a litmus test for him, even talking about Bayelsa. Now, Bayelsa State has been one state that has been known to be a very politically conscientized state when it has to do with politics. And traditionally, the People's Democratic Party has become like a culture, even in Bayelsa State. Now, the former governor, speaking of a national leader, has moved to the NDC. Is there hope for NDC in Bayelsa as it stands today, looking at the number of persons that are moving from NDC to the APC?
Yes. Bayelsa State has been known, in quotes, to be a PDP stronghold in this country. And sometime this year, Doidiri decided to cross over to the APC for his own personal reasons, which we don't know. And looking at the situation of things in the country, we want a drastic change. We want new governance. And knowing fully well that the PDP was dying in the state because he became governor under the platform of the PDP. Now, you pulling yourself out of that party and taking your political appointees alongside with you, they crippled the PDP. That was when our leader got the vision to come up with the Niger Delta, I'll call it a Niger Delta party, a Bayelsa party, which is the NDC. And all of us, all the major key players in Bayelsa State that saw the vision with him decided to leave the APC and to join him in the NDC. We had situations where even the serving commissioner resigned. Though some were victimized, some places were victimized, their salaries were stopped, their allowances were cut. But some persons voluntarily resigned from the APC to join the NDC. The truth still remains, Bayelsa State was a PDP stronghold and currently is an NDC stronghold.
You talk that the Bayelsa State is a PDP stronghold. Right now it is an NDC stronghold, but you belong to the Labour Party before now. Help us even understand how did you transition from the Labour Party to NDC, knowing fully well that the likes of your national leader was a part of the reason why a lot of the Labour Party movement failed even in Bayelsa State. How did you transition to the NDC?
Yes.
Both of you are in the same camp right now.
2019, yes. I was a strong member of the Labour Party. When I mean strong, that I funded the party even my own funds. Then the chairman then was on Ibiowe Olomo, and you're correct. He was the governor of our state then, and our national chairman was the PDP chairman. But there's one thing that is basic about the Ijoman. We don't hold grudges against ourselves. Yes, then one or two things played out, and I left the Labour Party because I discovered everybody was leaving the party. I joined the PDP then, again. Then for some reasons, I decided to stay put just to follow the political situations in the state then. But if you're a young man or a politician that sees the future, you'd know that looking at Henry Seraki Dinks' performance as governor then in Bayelsa State, despite our own personal issues, you would want to key into a party where, a family where, there is vision and there is hope. So after one or two consultations, there was even a time when my followers were like, my supporters were like, I should go to the ADC, which I had one or two meetings with them at the state level. And came into Abuja, one or two meetings, and I weighed my options. Because I believe the platform in which I am standing today is going to give birth to a new era in Bayelsa State and even in Nigeria at large.
Well, let's come to Ben Ray. There is this fear, even that the Niger Delta that have gotten rid of militancy in the whole politics in its region, by coming up with Niger Delta Supportive Force, it can reincarnate the whole idea of militancy and other groups which are tend to characterize the Niger Delta. Now, this group that you've come up with, although it's a support group, but then should people from the Niger Delta be afraid that this group will trigger some form of animosity that will further divide and deepen the politics and the cracks even in the Niger Delta? Should we be afraid?
There is no afraid. There is no fault within this Niger Delta Supportive Force. Niger Delta Supportive Force is just an organization we form in respect of helping the less privileged, going to the orphanage homes, helping them, give leg to those that what having no leg, give help to those doesn't have help. That is the purpose why we form this organization.
But it's not supposed to be politically affiliated, but then you have affiliated it to the NDC.
Why we came into this NDC? NDC is a co-son of Nigeria today. It came that become an heartbeat to all the Nigerians and all the Niger Deltas. Because of the person who formed the party, we need a support to support them. That is why we came out to support them, in order to announce the party within the region. Let them what? Embrace the party, so that we will have good governance within Niger Delta houses. And the person who formed that party, called His Excellency, the former governor, Enisirake Dixon, is a man of principle. We believe that the party also what have that the same quality. And if Peter B comes in to become the president come 2027, then means our reason will be better. Even today, as I'm telling you, if you go to our reasons, where we sit, that is where we drink our water because of bad governance. Where we eat, that is where they sit. Where they fetch water, that is where they bathe. Niger Delta is a place that formed the whole of this country. And if a source quality people form this party, we have all to assist them by coming out, telling the people for them to work for the party. When Dixon was a governor, how many projects? He brought, I think, there are about 300 major projects. A Kirimo Sagbama Road, Ogbeya Road, Nebe Road, Tombia Road. Then even the flyover, it was brought by Enisirake Dixon. So we have seen the potential of the people who formed that party. These people, if you count them, they are like a king makers within their regions. Even Konkoso, when you look at him, is a very good man. So we have to support them so that we have a good governance within Nigeria.
All right, let me come to you, Kekeboy. Now, there have been this, based on the number of persons we've been able to speak to so far, the NDC in Bayelsa State tend to be a figment of a lot of persons' imagination, saying that the NDC will win Bayelsa even before 12 p.m. That's what is on socials, where a lot of persons from the NDC will say before 12 p.m. consider the results done, because Bayelsa State is largely NDC. But then there's another part of the argument that says that the NDC does not have a structure, even in Bayelsa. Help us understand, across the 9 local governments in Bayelsa, across all the wards in Bayelsa, how strong is the presence of NDC in the state?
Yes, everybody has his own opinion to say, but sincerely, Bayelsa State, like I said earlier, is an NDC stronghold. Yes, I saw those things on social media. Some person said before 12, some person said and you would never get any seats and the rest of it. But majority of the key players, they were in PDP, that left to the APC and saw reasons to come to join this NDC today. These were the decision makers. These were figures these were people who were sitting in the front row of PDP then. And when they left PDP for APC, the same thing happened. And we still have those same persons in the NDC. Like, come to my own side, South Anijo.
So you're saying that NDC is a party of recycled politicians?
Nigeria. You know, our system in Nigeria, when this room is too hot for you, you look for a soft place to land. But now it's not coming to land, but coming to build. Because NDC is a new party. It's fragile for now. But I believe that the results of these 2027 elections will determine the future of this party. But like in Bayelsa, like in my own local government per se, South Anijo, I can say it anywhere. We have 70% assurance that our candidates will win.
But Sagbama, which is largely a politically sensitive area in Bayelsa, but as Sagbama Karamo, right now, it's a loose hold for the NDC, if I get you correctly.
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really, because the founder of the party himself is from Sagbama and is a highly respected person in the Sagbama-Ikeremo region. He's a man that even the sitting current governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doidiri, gives respect to and accords him respect. And for you to come out boldly to form a party, you should have done your mathematics in your house. And before Seriaki Dixon came out with this idea to form this political party, he had already cleared a pathway. I even told somebody recently that those candidates contesting from Ikerema and Sagbama, theirs will be free. It will be free for them because the leader of the party had already created a clear path for them. A clear path in the sense that he cannot lose his own area. And
but you agree with me that Felix Wilson is a very popular politician, even in Keremo. And the governor, the deputy governor, welcomed a lot of the people that cross-carpeted from the NDC to the APC. We watched the video.
Yes, that's why I said
that's quite disturbing.
No, that's why
saying that's the national leader's stronghold, and it has a lot of influence even in Ekeremo Sagbama. But then the number of persons that moved, doesn't this spell doom for the NDC?
It doesn't, because you know these people, APC, they are good in propagandas, and they can decide to pay a crowd to make it look as if people actually live in the party. One man, grievances, cannot spoil a structure that has been made for years. It cannot. Because of you're trying to protect your own personal, selfish interests. That cannot, no, it cannot. It cannot deface the party. It cannot spoil things in the Kerema axis. Because apart from him, there are other strong persons, strong figures who are in the party and who he is also even loyal to. These are persons that will call him and is going to listen to them. So till tomorrow, I keep telling people, Sagbama, Ikeremo, it's a clear path for the candidates there.
All right, we'll talk about South Anijo 1 and South Anijo 2. But let me come back to Ben Ray. Now, let's talk about the Niger Delta Supporting Force one more time. Now, looking at the Niger Delta Supporting Force, there have been also speculations that this forms the military wing of the NDC, that normal political structure where we have the cell, the branch, and of course the caucus. But then every political party has its military wing. Now, the Niger Delta Supportive Force is going to serve as a military wing, carrying out some of the untold story of the NDC. Help us understand, is this what this force is all about?
No.
Are your members on uniform? Are they armed?
No armed.
All right, please help us understand, what is the modus operandi? How do they operate?
We operate on base state to state, and we operate in 5 categories: from the state to the ward to the local government to the unit 2. Those are the 5 categories. I come again: states, LGA, then ward, unit, and community. We operate in order to maintain peace by helping people less privileged, to advocate for those that doesn't have voice to talk. That is why we formed this organization, cut across the Niger Delta state and beyond. We are not for problem.
But so for the timing for the formation of this organization, is it right? But we look at how young the NDC is. So the NDC needs a support group to be affiliated to its name as it stands right now.
NDC, there can be anybody who can support the party, they will accept. We want to support.
But do you think the NDC is ripe for a support group as it stands right now, or the assertions and the narrative that the Niger Delta Supporting Force is rather the military wing of the NDC in the Niger Delta is correct? Is NDC ripe for a supportive group right now?
Yes, if anybody with organization that want to support NDC, they can go ahead and support it. The same way we comes out. We are not for problem, peace, and we will augment our crowd to vote for the NDC. That is why we form ourselves. You know that politics is grangarous. The crowd you get, you use in winning election. That is why we formed this organization, cut across the Niger Delta states, so that we can able to maintain peace. Why we come to even this NDC we are talking of? Because of the potential of Dixie, potential of Concourse, the potential of Peterby. These people, they were one-time governors. If you can go back to their track records, you will have something to tell. Because Nigeria today, it needs a strong hand, a wise people, a strong man, a wise people, a knowledgeable people to deliver our country. And these people are coming together from this party. We need to join them. That is why we come in. We are not for problem.
Well,
we just want to.
Kekebo, let me come to you at this point. Looking at your party in general, taking it from Ijo 1, as it were. Now, a lot of persons will say that your party is not too popular in Bayelsa State, and as such, the Bayelsa State will not be able to align their thoughts and their political philosophies and agenda with the NDC. Now, looking at NDC in Bayelsa State and some of the policies that your gubernatorial candidate is soliciting for, and looking at the state in general, is there a lacuna, is there a missing link, or there an empty space in Bayelsa State as it stands right now that the APC government is not even delivering in your state? To speaking about the person of Dirige.
People say the party is new. Of course, the party is new, but I believe people defected from other parties to join the party. And Bayelsa State, our system of politics and our ideas are still the same. For now, we are not even going to participate in the governorship. Our governorship candidates, our governorship election will come up in a year and some months. You know, there is no loophole anywhere. People are saying the party is not popular. Yes, when you give birth to a child, the child needs to grow before the neighbors will know the name of the child. It takes 7 days to circumcise a male child. NDC started not too long. We as Bayelsans that has a vision, that saw the vision of our leader, Henry Seriaki Dixon, decided to leave where we were to join this party. Our ideas never changed. We still understand the old system, the same way it has run from the PDP era to the recent APC era and to this current state. Yes, people are talking about the way the state is being governed. I believe every man knows, or while I say every man has the right to do what pleases him. So I would not want to dive into that. But one thing I am sure of is Henry Seriaki Dixon's party, which is the NDC, had brought in figures that boosted the minds and the morals of people. Like those days in Labour Party, when Nigerians saw Peter Obi, everybody moved in, even in Bayelsa State there too. We all moved into the Labour Party, see what we could do. But unfortunately, those same persons killed the party because they believed it wasn't strong enough, or they were not ready to shift. But currently now, with the way things are in Bayelsa State, we want change. And we decided to embrace this party.
Well, so you're saying you want change, but then you don't want to talk about the dissatisfaction that you've had now with this current administration. Does it mean that this administration should be given a pass mark when it comes to the deliverables in Bayelsa State?
No, I won't say that, because in Bayelsa State, we all know that the record he has today, the record Doyediri has today, still had not matched what Dixon had. Dixon brought in development to the state, roads. I think what Doyediri did was just to finish what Dixon started. Like the road that leads to my community, we are grateful to him that yes, he finished it, which is true. But it was started by Henry Seriaki Dixon. He took it to a level. Doyediri took it to the final stage. We are happy he completed those projects in the state. He followed suit. So it wasn't as if he started the projects from inception. Okay, now we're talking about turbine in Bayelsa State. We had a promise that by January, the state will have lights. But some places still don't have lights. Though in some areas, yes. To be frank, in some areas, yes. We are still yet to see the lights in some areas. And we are still waiting. I won't give a total pass mark. I won't. Because we in Bayelsa know the level of insecurity currently in the states. It's not about going to tell people I've constructed 400 roads, 300 roads, that we are not even seeing those roads. You did the major roads. These major roads we are mapped out before now. You completed those projects for us. We are grateful as Bayelsans. But I don't believe taking credit of what someone did or someone started is the right way to go. But in Nigeria, yes, if A starts it and B completes it, B takes the glory. But Henry Seriaki Dixon laid the foundation. And when Doyediri became governor, he followed that blueprint.
Well, you agree also Alamesia laid few foundations for Dixon to
Alamesia brought the blueprint of his vision for Bayelsa. Silva came in. Jonathan was in power for a while. He left for Abuja as a VP. Silva came in. Silva did the little he could do. When Dixon came in, Dixon followed the blueprint of Alamesia. But other governors did not. Henry Seriaki Dixon followed the blueprint of Alamesia. And today Doyediri is clapping, we are applauding for Doyediri that yes, he has done so much for us in Bayelsa State. Because he followed Dixon's footsteps. And Dixon told him, you are taking over. Oh yeah, this is what you should do. Get these projects running. And today he has a clean. People are applauding that yes, he did one or two. But we in Bayelsa, we know how far. Like the flooding systems, lack of drainages. Once it rains, people's houses becomes flooded. If he's a governor of the people and he really wants to work for his people, that's a critical issue he should have looked into. Besides, they have the Environmental Sanitation Authority, they have the Ministry of Environment, they have the Ministry of Works. Drainages are blocked, drainages are not channeled to anywhere. Little rain for 1 hour, people start building houses.
You're saying His Excellency the administration, if you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you placing it right now?
I'm giving him 4.
In a scale of 1 to 10.
Yes.
Despite the fact that a lot of persons in Bayelsa have said that in terms of infrastructure, he has been able to perform outstandingly in the state. You're saying 4.
In this infrastructure, yes. Like I said earlier, he followed the blueprint.
So not that he came up with his own initiative.
No, not at all.
So you're saying that Diri does not have any initiative.
He had his own plan. He had his own initiatives. Yes,
but as he has not implemented.
But we've not seen them because before when he became governor, there were speculations. He was telling people the drainage, Bayelsa state flooding, employment, and the rest of it. So we have thousands of youths who are graduates and they don't have jobs. Until today, as we speak, when it rains in Bayelsa, people pack out of their houses. See, I believe my own belief in governance. It's looking at the people and doing what will actually change or help them from their predicaments or problems.
Oh, so you are coming in for a Joe constituency, Southern Joe constituency 2.
Yes,
and you've identified some of these challenges.
Of course.
Can it be fixed by the NDC?
Of course, it can be. It can be fixed.
In terms of policy-wise,
it can be
in terms of laws and promulgations that will be able to enhance this fixture.
Of course.
Can this actually be fixed?
Yes. Certainly, the truth is it can be fixed, but it's a gradual process. You can't just dive in and just start pushing. Though before now, I've been having communiques with my people, asking them one-on-one, in this your community, what's your major challenge? So how do we go about it? I've been talking to my people. And I am not the desperate type that is desperate for power. The reason I came out was because of I am the people's choice. Due to my past record. And even to today, there are 1 or 2 communities we've done little things for them from our own pockets. It can be fixed. It can be fixed.
Well, let me return to you, Ben Ray. Looking at Bayelsa State as it is today, a lot of questions are begging for answers in terms of the insecurity in Bayelsa State. A lot of persons said Bayelsa State is a state that has been largely characterized by a lot of young persons that are getting into various vices in the state and are trying to destabilize the security and peace of the state. You have the Niger Delta Supportive Force going into the campaigns right now. Are there plans, modalities to address all of the insecurities in Bayelsa State?
Yes, we do that. In any community that have crisis, we go to that community, ask the paramount ruler, the chairmen within that community, and first have those people and ask them, know their faults, and take them to the appropriate place. That is how we do. For now, Bayelsa capital, we are in peace. There is no attack. Everywhere, there is peace. In Bayelsa, Bayelsa don't have problem like compared to other states. Apart from the down Satanic zone, where other people operate, I don't know, means we're coming. Apart from that, we don't have any insecurity problem. Yes.
Well, Kebo, let's come back to you because I've been saying that our time is fast spent already. We've talked about a lot of things, even in Bayelsa State. I understand, I know that you are contesting in the forthcoming 2027 elections. And let's have it at the breaking news, even here on Rapid Television. If you eventually emerge as the House of Assembly member for Southern Ijo Constituency 2, in your first 100 days, what should the people expect to see?
Funny enough, I am not the type that make promises.
That's why we have it on breaking news, because the people hold you accountable to it.
Yes, but one thing is sure. Knowing what they want, knowing the problems and fixing it had been my number one area of
So
concentration.
give us a 100 days roadmap.
No problem.
All right, we're waiting for you to give us a 100 days roadmap.
No problem.
No, we will. No, we itemize it here on Rapid Television.
Yes, we will.
We will know that.
We will. Because there are my constituency is made up of 14 communities.
Yes.
And apart from my own community, which is the capital of the local government headquarters of Southern Ijo, which is Oproma. There are other neighboring communities that needs one or two things to be done.
So should we judge you with? What should the community, the local government, hold you?
What I can tell you
in the first 100 days.
What I can tell you in the first 100 days, you will come and you see it for yourself.
No, we don't want to come and see for ourselves. We want to hear you speak to those issues, because a lot of politicians have associated themselves with flowery speeches and gorgeous metaphors.
And I'm not one of those politicians.
Created.
That's why I said I don't.
Politicians come on. That's why I said I don't. Politicians give a lot of posters.
Yes.
And when you hold them to those posters, they say they didn't publish it.
No,
it was not printed by them.
Yes, I understand.
We have you on the studio.
I
and we can hold you to your words right now.
Like I said earlier,
give us what you do in your first 100 days.
I am not a politician that make promises.
No. Tell us what you will do in your first 100 days in terms of policy implementation for the good people of Southern Ijo too.
In my constituency, there is a major problem they have right now. It's lack of employment.
Of course, your constituents are watching right now. So
it's lack of employment.
All right.
And I can assure you here, and I can also assure them, that before my first 100 days in office, at least 50 youths will be employed to this local government and state levels. That I can assure them.
Well, Ben Ray,
yes, I'm with you.
You're not a politician, but then, any last word before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not a politician, I'm also a politician.
Okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yes.
All right.
You see, Nigeria today become a pain to us. If we keep Nigeria this way, Nigeria will gradually die and they will bury it. And you know that Nigeria is a giant of all Africa. So if we don't come out from our comfort zone to fight for Nigeria, Nigeria will left behind in the place where we're supposed to take our rank. As I'm telling you, insecurity become a problem into the northern part, even the middle belt, some other places. And now, talk of even buying fuel become a problem. I just paid transport coming. A woman is dragging 100 naira with a taxi rider. A dragging 100 naira with a taxi rider. The taxi rider said, I bought fuel. The fuel very high. Madam, why are you telling me like that? So if these things continue, Nigeria will be a place of what? Doom. And we don't want to keep Nigeria like that. That is why our His Excellency Eni Serake went and formed this party. And Peter became seen. Come in. And the alliance and working together make some good governance put in place. So we just queue in because of what? The leaders that form the party.
Well, Ben Ray,
Yes,
and Kekeboy, I wish I can allow Kekeboy to say more, even on the show right now. But then, if I allow him to speak again, it will derail the audience from the viewer from even getting that last promise that he has made in his first 100 days in office, which we will carefully monitor as the elections and campaigns begin to evolve. But on this note, I want to say, gentlemen, thank you so much for finding out time to be with us here on Curero.
Thank you very much for having us.
Well, viewer, this is how far we can go tonight on the show. Do not forget that you can leave your thoughts. You can leave your comments on our various social media handle currently showing on your screen. And you can also download the Rapid TV and watch the Rapid TV on your free TV app to keep track of our broadcast. My name is Godwin Sunday. Always remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do enjoy the rest of your night rest. Bye for now.